In Brockton, we swing for the fences so we can touch home.
We coach in Brockton to instill the teamwork that builds a great winning tradition.
We do business in Brockton because here you can find a taste of home away from home.
We keep our company in Brockton because we love this city.
I study and learn in Brockton to achieve my goals.
When Brockton is home, everything is within reach. During my 4 years serving on the Brockton School Committee, reopening of the planetarium at Brockton High School was a priority. 2 years ago, as chair of the Facilities Committee, we began the project of reopening the planetarium at Brockton High School. Today, I'm pleased to announce, thanks to some great work by Mr. Jonathan Shapiro, the Science Department head at Brockton High School, we have been able to secure a $100,000 grant from the 3M Corporation to install new technology at the planetarium. With the support of Superintendent of Schools Kathy Smith and in a partnership with the Brockton Public Schools, we will now be able to completely renovate, refurbish, and install new technology at the planetarium at Brockton High School.
Talking about a complete, it's not just the technology that's being replaced, but we're actually going to refurbish the inside of the planetarium.
We are. As you can see, it's taken its toll over the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And it certainly has provided a lot of great opportunities over that time, but it's now out of date, and as you can see, a lot of the chairs are broken, the paint doesn't look like it's in great quality, so the district is going to help provide furniture, rug, new paint of the dome. There's some watermarks on that you can see.
So essentially, in addition to bringing in this exciting new technology, it'll also be completely refurbished so that the facility itself will be brand new to also go with the new technology.
Well, one of the things that's exciting about that process is we actually have a student here at the high school who's working on, who's going to be helping us with it as he works to get his Eagle Scout.
Wow, that's great.
So, yeah.
So there's even a little community service angle to it. That's great.
One of the comments I made earlier was in my earlier years teaching as a fourth grade teacher. Every fourth grade would come to the planetarium,
Right.
and that was really the highlight of their fourth grade experience. So it's just great to be back in here thinking the kids will have these opportunities.
Yeah, we can't wait to bring that back to them again.
Yeah. Well, so obviously your focus primarily is how you incorporate this into the science curriculum at the high school, but Superintendent, I feel the same way because I also remember the planetarium being open to the public, like once a
Yes.
month it would be open to the public. So this really is an opportunity that goes beyond just Brockton High School students, but the chance for younger ages for these other schools to bring field trips over here. And also, hopefully, we'll work out a schedule to periodically open it up to the public so that the residents of the city can come enjoy it.
You bring up a good point, because one of the things as director of community schools, people always asked, because there had been a course,
Right.
but there had been an opportunity for the adults in the community to come in and enjoy the planetarium. So I'm sure we can work very closely with community schools and set up time to have access.
And this is something, and it's just the work that Mr. Shapiro has done in securing the grant is great, and we congratulate you. Because I know that on the school committee, on the facilities committee, a couple of years ago, we took a long look at this, and clearly the need was here. But, you know, with the budget constraints nowadays, you know, we just couldn't find the money in the budget to do it. And we felt at the time that the only way this would ever get done is if we could find a grant partner to partner with us. And so the work that you've done in securing that grant partnership with 3M Corp is great. And we want to thank you and congratulate you for that.
Thank you. And 3M really has been a terrific partner. And what you're talking about with the community, and whether it be the fourth grade or fifth grade or the adults, all of that impacts what we do here as well. So it's going to be a great instructional tool, but it also is going to be absolutely instrumental in helping to increase the STEM culture in the community. So we're really excited about that angle.
And prepare our students for their testing.
Absolutely.
So Superintendent, could you just, you know, Mr. Shapiro mentioned STEM. For the average person, doesn't know what STEM is all about. So if you could talk a little bit about that and really the emphasis you've placed on this now as superintendent around science and technology.
Well, again, STEM is science, technology, is it environmental math?
Engineering.
And mathematics.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, with the testing coming down, whether it's MCAS with the science, testing, whether it's the park coming on board, we've made it a focus from the time the children are entering school. Right now, we actually just had an initiative at the Huntington School. And, the principal there wanted to make sure that the Huntington School had, a lab set up for students and opportunities for a lot of STEM initiatives. They're working with Bridgewater State University. So this is something we're obviously unrolling from the time the children are little, coming up to the high school. Mr. Shapiro has done an excellent job. The biotech lab, bringing back the planetarium, out there actively searching for, and there are a lot of grants out there where STEM right now is the focus of many of our schools.
Well, I think also as we talk about preparing Brockton High students for 21st century careers, we really think about, even from the city side, I think about, industry that we want to develop around Brockton. You're talking about biotech, healthcare. I mean, some exciting fields that are career opportunities for Brockton kids after graduation, but built around science, technology, and math, that we've got to give them the type of background in these areas that will allow them to compete coming out of Brockton
I love
High.
hearing you say that, Mayor Carpenter, because we just had one of our first meetings to develop our strategic plan from all of the transition team planning. We spent a whole day the other day at the Keith Center. We probably had about 25 administrators from all levels, and that was the talk about college and career.
Right.
So to hear you tie that in with a STEM focus, or talking about us as a community with businesses and
Yeah.
having our students placed, early in internships, doing service out in the community. That's certainly all going to be tied to our new vision, our mission, and we're very excited going forward.
Yeah, it's great. So, Mr. Shapiro, can you give us a little insight as to what the capabilities of the planetarium will be when? Well, first of all, when are we hoping to get this project done? You're just getting started now, so. Realistically, is this something we can have online for the next school year?
Absolutely. We're looking to complete it in August.
So it was perfect timing to get it online for the next school year.
Absolutely.
And this, I guess, from the science department perspective, gives you a chance to incorporate it into the curriculum for the next school year.
Right. We can get some people trained on how to use the new system because its capabilities are beyond what one can imagine. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that about anything because I have, as we all do, we have great imaginations. And this, as we've been looking at what these systems can do, it can bring us into, well, if we look at the old planetarium style,
Yeah.
we can see the close stars, the close aspect of the galaxy.
Yeah.
This can bring us out of our own galaxy into
Wow.
the rest of the universe
Wow.
and
Wow.
deep inside the Earth
Yeah.
and into the cells and molecules and beyond, because it's all digital, it's anything that we can imagine. And so it can bring us even beyond the sciences into the arts and humanities. And I think that we can do a lot of really great cross-curricular work like that.
Wow. That's exciting. So Brockton residents won't have to go to the Omni Theater in places anymore. They can
They
be
can
able
come
to
right
put on some demonstrations here at the high school.
Absolutely.
What do you think going back, 42 years ago, or even before that when you talk about the planning? Was that something unusual in a high school to have a planetarium?
I have so much respect for the people who designed this building. The fact that they put in a planetarium in 1971 was really incredible, and it was state of the art. And we got a lot of great use out of it because, as I hear the same thing that you say all the time. People are constantly telling me, I remember when I was in 3rd grade or 4th grade or 5th grade, and the planetarium was the highlight. And when can we do that again? And I remember a couple of years ago, I talked to you and the rest of the school committee, and I brought you in here, and I said, look, this is what we can do with this now.
Right.
And we took out some iPads and said, this is the technology in the students' hands.
Yeah.
Well, now we can bring that all onto this immersive screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to thank our Deputy Superintendent, Mike Thomas, who works very closely with our facility department. They've done such great work. I mean, we look at the Barrett Russell School last year, just a wonderful new school for our little kids, so I'm really excited this summer you know,
Yeah.
to see the focus here, and it'll be fun to come in here next August. and
Yeah, we're
see
going to
it
have,
transformed.
yeah, we'll make sure we get some good shots of what the planetarium looks like today, so that we can come back in September and show everyone what the all-new planetarium looks
I
like.
can't wait to welcome you back when
Yeah.
it's complete.
That'd be great.
Just very briefly, this Brockton High School is a special place for a lot of reasons, and nowadays it's a level 1 special place. But the planetarium, like so many other opportunities, when we talk about Brockton High School, we always use the word opportunity. And the opportunities here are endless, whether it's sciences, arts, music, athletics, you name it, it's here at Brockton High School. And what other high school are you aware of in the area that has a beautiful, state-of-the-art now planetarium for the benefit of all of the students, not just the high school students, but superintendent? I remember several of my older children coming up through elementary school and always coming here on the 4th or 5th grade field trip each year, and kids really looked forward to that. It was fun for the kids, but also a great learning experience. So I think back to about 7.5 years ago when I first ran for school committee, and one of the issues I talked about in that very first school committee campaign was that we needed to get the planetarium updated, back online, something that had been really a jewel of the school here had become obsolete. And I want to also thank Karen and Jonathan both for the great work that they did. I remember walking through here with Mr. Shapiro a few years ago, talking about what it would take to get this planetarium back to what you're going to see tonight. So we certainly want to thank the 3M company. There is a Brockton connection to the 3M company. WB Mason Company is a major customer of 3M, buys a lot of 3M products that they redistribute. So there is a Brockton connection there. So I just hope everyone will enjoy the experience of being the first to see what we have, and knowing that thousands and thousands of Brockton School students will have an opportunity to learn inside this special place. My good friend Robert Jenkins and the Brockton Redevelopment Authority, as we were able to this past year allocate over $30,000 of CDBG federal grant money that was able to fund the wheelchair lift to make this space accessible and ADA compliant so that we could reopen it. And I think it was a perfect partnership, Robert, because I think accessibility to public space is right in the mission of the Redevelopment Authority, certainly in the mission of HUD and what they intend those federal funds to be for, but it also helped put this project over the top and get it completed and get it open again. So I think this was a great collaborative effort by everyone from our donors in the private sector to some great work by our own people and other city agencies being able to collaborate. So enjoy.
The Office of Mayor Bill Carpenter has announced a variety of new ways residents can submit tips anonymously and communicate with neighbors via telephone, internet, texting, and apps that are available on your cell phone. If you want to contact the Brockton Police Department anonymously, you can do so directly by calling them anytime at their tip line, 508-941-0244. You can also send a text to CRIMES, or 274-637. Text Brockton at the beginning of the text, followed by the violation you see that you want to report. These features are available to anyone with access to a phone, cell phone, or computer with internet access, and all of this information can be found on the Brockton Police Department's official website at brocktonpolice.com. Outside of directly contacting the Brockton PD via call, text, or online message, there are a few new apps you can download to your smart and iPhones to report crimes and violations you see anonymously. My PD is an app you can download to your phone where you can submit a tip, ask the Brockton Police a question, or even commend an officer for doing a good job. You just click on what you want to do and fill out the forms provided electronically. The forms allow you to get as detailed as you'd like while submitting a report to best give the Brockton PD the opportunity to respond to your issue. You can also get My PD without downloading the app at mypolicedepartment.org/Brockton-police-department and fill out the information online just as you would the app on your phone. There's also Nextdoor, an app and website at nextdoor.com that is a private social network for you, your neighbors, and your community. It's an easy way for you and your neighbors to communicate. You can use this to talk to neighbors about anything community related, tracking down a trustworthy babysitter, asking for help looking for a lost pet, and finding a reputable mechanic to work in your car. Quickly report a neighborhood break-in, organize a neighborhood watch group, do it all with the Nextdoor app. And last but not least, See, Click, Fix. This is a feature that gained popularity following our most recent winter as a way for residents to report potholes on city streets that needed to be filled. However, it's much more than a resource to report potholes. You can download the See, Click, Fix app on your phone or go to the City of Brockton's official website at brockton.ma.us and click the See, Click, Fix button on the left-hand side of the page. You can report non-emergency issues to the City of Brockton using this app. Everything from abandoned property, to traffic signal issues, to graffiti, to loose animals, to snow removal. You'll receive an email updating you on the status. These are just some of the new ways the City of Brockton is introducing technology to connect with its residents and make solving problems easier. And remember, the City of Brockton is online 24/7 at its official website, brockton.ma.us.
Right hand, insert your name after I, and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me
as a patrolman
in the Brockton Police Department, according to the best of my ability and understanding, adhering to the rules and regulations, the ordinances of the City of Brockton. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and will support the Constitution thereof. So help me God. I, Robert Abbott, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. Congratulations. Mr. Mayor.
First of all, I just want to personally thank each officer for their service to the city, understand the commitment that they're making. I think that I don't know if there's a more challenging job in the world right now than being a police officer. And I just want you to know how much we appreciate what you will be doing on behalf of the residents of the City of Brockton. These are challenging times in our country. They're challenging times in police-community relations. I think that we're doing great work here in Brockton, but the reality is that you're going to face a lot of difficult situations every single day. And I don't know of many other jobs in the world where at any point in time you may be asked to run into harm's way and risk your life to save the life of someone you've never met before. But that's part of this job. And there are very few people that are capable of doing it, and we're very excited the fact that you've completed your training and you're ready to come to work with the City of Brockton as police officers. So thank you for your service. Yeah, we're going to do some education. And you know why? Because they've never pushed the button. At night they're pushing it, because I've come by 2 different nights and seen it flash. Yep. So, this first location of a rapidly flashing beacon is here on North Montello Street at the corner of Wilmington. Very busy spot for commuters getting on and off of the commuter rail to be crossing Route 28 North Montello Street here. So I'm sure that that had to be a big factor in selecting this as one of the locations, targeting areas where this type of pedestrian safety improvement would have the most impact.
Right, when we met with the task force, with the train station being so close to North Montello Street, you will find a lot of pedestrian traffic crossing here, so this is one of the target locations.
And particularly at this time of year, I know that we get a lot of early morning and later evening commuters that are actually going to work or coming home from work in the dark now at this time of the year, and crossing this street can be problematic in the dark. So these are the rapidly flashing beacons. We're going to actually look at 4 sets of them that have been installed, but just kind of give me a general overview in terms of the power, the signage, and exactly how they work.
So the intention of the RRFB, Rectangular Rapid Flashing Beacon, is only to give attention to a passing motorist that there's a pedestrian waiting to walk. So this isn't a stoplight, it's not a red light. This is just to gain the attention of a driver who might not see someone in the dark attempting to cross the street.
Right.
It's solar powered, so you can see the solar power up top.
Yep.
The wiring comes down through the pipe into this box. Inside the box there's a battery about the size of a car battery. There's wiring terminals, and there's a computer that's about twice the size of an iPhone. It's not a very big computer whatsoever. Okay. When someone comes up to push the button, it's just a touch button. You don't have to push it in or anything.
Okay.
Once you touch it, you'll get a tone that acknowledges that you've touched the button.
Yeah.
The beacons will begin to flash. Now, in addition to this project, there were improvements done to the pedestrian access to make sure that the ramps were good.
Yep.
And there was an additional signage. You can see about 100 feet up.
Yep.
Facing the other direction, there's a pedestrian ahead sign.
We'll get a shot of that. So a big part of these safety improvements at these crossing points, it's not just the beacons, but it's the signage, and you can see the difference. And I've driven by these a number of times now. The signage here and the signage on both sides of the street, I mean, they are really bright fluorescent.
Right.
You see them in your car approaching, you see them from quite a distance. And when you add that to the flashing lights, but yeah, so there's signage that's already going to be warning the driver about a pedestrian crossing, and then if in fact someone's getting ready to cross, they hit the button, the flashing lights are going to gain the driver's attention, hopefully in plenty of time for them to stop and allow the pedestrian to cross.
Right, and they find that some of the biggest causes of pedestrian accidents is the distracted driver, and hopefully the rapid flashing beacon will get the attention of the distracted driver.
Right, so if that driver who may not be paying attention or may not be aware that they're approaching a popular pedestrian crossing, between the signage, the flashing lights, it's going to catch their attention. Hopefully they at least take their foot off the gas and slow down a little bit to look to see what might be there. So the flashing beacon, it's not a stop sign. It doesn't require a driver to come to a stop. It's designed to make the driver aware that there may be someone getting ready to cross the street right through their path.
That's correct. It's also important to remember that you need to use the crosswalk. As the pedestrian, this is not a stoplight.
Right.
So when you push the button, you still have to stand in the crosswalk and look both ways and wait for a safe passage.
Right. So you don't have the benefit of a traffic signal. And actually, these are designed to go at locations that don't have traffic signals, right? So we're going to tend to find these at busy intersections and busy spots that are not currently controlled by a traffic light.
Correct.
And with the solar power, no hard wiring involved.
Nope.
It'll store enough
No,
juice from the sunny days.
Right. There's no electrical power to this besides what's in the solar, and the battery is rated to last a few days, even without any solar.
Yep.
They are connected by radio, so when one button is pushed, both will activate. So you'll have flashing on both sides of the street at the same time, and that's radio controlled.
And actually, if we look at that one across the street, I think particularly maybe from up here, you can get a much clearer idea of what that solar panel looks like, and I guess facing the south, because that's where the track of the sun is.
Right.
All right, do you think we can...
So if we push the button, when we push it, we will get a red light, a little red light, a little LED here.
Yep.
And we will get an audible tone, just a small chirp
Yep.
that acknowledges.
All right, so let's give it a try here and see what it looks like when a pedestrian activates it.
So you get the small chirp.
Yep.
It's flashing.
The lights are flashing.
So now we walk.
But still have to look both ways.
So they see us.
And that, right, now they've stopped and let us cross. Wow, that worked great.
And it's still flashing, so still plenty of time.
Yep. So the key is the light doesn't require the driver to stop. The light doesn't require the driver to stop, but hopefully by drawing attention to it, the driver now sees the person in the crosswalk and comes to the stop to allow them to cross. Yeah. Now I've got to tell folks, and maybe we can get a shot of this after dark, but I've come by here a couple times at night, and I mean there is a dramatic difference in how visible those beacons are at night. When you're coming down this street at night and that beacon's flashing, you can see it from a long, long distance. It's drawing your attention. And it almost reminds you of a railroad crossing. It's like approaching a railroad crossing, kind of the same idea, except for a pedestrian crossing.
Right.
All right, we'll take our chances and try going back again.
Okay.
So you can hear when you push the button. Yep.
We still have to stop and look.
Yep. These are new handicap accessible ramps on each side of the crosswalk also. So
this person's not familiar. So again,
Yep.
you've got to look.
Got to look. Oh, we're good now. And I think it's important to note that part of this project required by law was making sure that this intersection was fully ADA compliant. So another benefit, and it did take a little away from some of the pedestrians, the extent of some of the equipment we could purchase, but in terms of us moving towards complete streets and accessibility, we've not only redone the crosswalks and put this equipment in, but we've now also ensured that someone in a wheelchair can cross safely also.
Right.